Hey everybody, welcome to Crack a Pack Tuesday number 54 on the Mana Leak. I'm John as always, and we've got ourselves a pack of Shadows over Innistrad here. We've got several weeks left. I think something like 10 weeks left of Crack a Packs before we go on to Eldritch Moon. So we're going to crack this pack open, see what's in it, and figure out what we would take pack one, pick one if this were a draft. Now I'm going to try something a little bit different this time around, and I'm going to actually kind of filter the cards into frame from out of frame and then keep the ones that would be first pickable in frame. Let me know if you like the change. Let me know if you prefer to see them kind of taken away in frame or any other suggestions to kind of refresh Crack-a-Packs. But up first, we have a Storm Rider Spirit. Storm Rider Spirit is 4 and a blue for a creature spirit at common. It's a 3/3. It's got flash and it's got flying. It's a pretty fine creature. It's ever so slightly expensive. Nephalia Seakites was much better in Dark Ascension. It was 1 mana less for 1 power less. This is slightly expensive, but if you're in blue, if you're going ever so slightly late, it's not a bad pickup. I generally would not first pick it though. Up next, we have a Stern Constable. Stern Constable is a single white mana for a creature human soldier. It's a 1/1. You can tap, discard a card to tap target creature. This guy's okay in certain decks. Obviously, if you're trying to enable Delirium or if you're enabling Madness, which you generally aren't if you're in white, this is a way to do that. The tap is nice, but this is an expensive tapper and just generally a card that I don't super look to play, and I certainly don't first pick it. Up next, we have a Press for Answers. Press for Answers is 1 and a blue for a sorcery. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, which someday will hopefully just be called freeze or some sort of evergreen mechanic there. And you get to investigate as well. This is fine. It obviously would be much better if it was an instant, but it's not, so we're going to have to deal with it. Obviously not first pickable, and sometimes not even main deckable, so out you go. Up next, we have a Senseless Rage. Senseless Rage is 1 and a red for an enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, so it's a Goblin Warpaint. But you can Madness this, meaning you can cast it with Virtual Flash. You can do this as a combat trick. There's a lot better combat tricks out there for sure. I don't typically use a slot for this. I would have to be insanely aggressive to consider main decking this, but certainly not a first pick. Next up, we have an Explosive Apparatus. 1 single generic mana for an artifact. Pay 3, tap, sacrifice Explosive Apparatus. Explosive Apparatus deals 2 damage to target creature or player. A little bit expensive. If you're trying to enable Delirium, it's a good way to get an artifact into the graveyard, but that's really kind of about it. Certainly not first pickable. Next up, we have Throttle. Finally a first pickable card, and it's still not that good of one. 4 and a black for an instant. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. We, of course, just recently had Grasp of Darkness, which cost 2 mana to do this effect. Black. 5 mana, we'll pay it, but there is better removal in this set. I generally would not first pick a Throttle. It would have to be a weaker pack, but this is currently leading as kind of the first pick of this pack so far, at least. So it can stay in frame. Up next, we have a Sanguinary Mage. Sanguinary Mage is 1 and a red for a creature vampire wizard. It's a 1/3. It's got prowess. It's a prowess vampire. That's about it. I don't typically look to play these. They're fine, and if I need a 2-drop, I will certainly play it. But I don't look to play it, and I would never first pick it. Not last of the commons. I think second last of the commons. Stoic Builder, 2 and a green for a creature human. It's a 2/3. When Stoic Builder enters the battlefield, you may return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I don't think I've ever really seen anybody do that. It's just not something I'm super looking for. Generally in green, I'm looking to get stuff into my graveyard. I'm looking to enable Delirium. And getting a land back late in the game is okay. Getting it back early in the game maybe means turning off Delirium. I just don't look to play a Stoic Builder. I would play it as filler if need be, but certainly not a first pick. There we go. Last of the commons, Twins of Maori Estate. Twins of Maori Estate, 4 and a black for a 3/5 creature vampire, but you can Madness for 2 and a black. If you pay full cost for this, it's okay. It's filler if you pay full cost. If you pay the Madness cost, it's great. And if you're black-red vampires, you'd certainly pick these up relatively highly, kind of early mid-pack. Kind of like pick 5-ish, you'd start taking these if you were going down that route, but never really a first pick. First uncommon, we have Behind the Scenes. Behind the Scenes is 2 and a black for an enchantment. Creatures you control have Skulk. Pay 4 and a white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. I've been pretty unimpressed with this card. Giving your team Skulk isn't that good when you get later in the game and everything's big already and your opponent can just block it anyways. You have to be a very kind of low curve, super wide, super low power deck for this to really kind of go off. So it's just not generally something I'm looking for. I might consider this a relatively highish pick pack 3 if I know I'm in a very, very wide black-white deck. But beyond that, I'm not going to take it, and certainly not first pick. Hopefully we actually get a discussion here of a first pick. We don't just take a Throttle. But we've got a Gloom Widow. Gloom Widow's 2 and a green for a creature spider. It's a 3/3, it's got reach, and it can only block creatures with flying. So it has reach and like anti-reach. It can't block on the ground. Very aggressive creature. A lot of people still look at this card and they say, oh, well, it can only block flyers, so I should only really, put it in the sideboard and bring it in if I see some flyers. No, 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 no. You play this because you want a 3/3 for 3 that's going to turn sideways and attack. This doesn't have Defender. This is a massively aggressive attacker, and that's where this thing really shines. I would not really be happy ever first picking it, but I would almost always include it in every green deck that I play. Up next, we've got another black removal card, Sinister Concoction, and finally another potential first pick. Single black mana for an enchantment. Pay a black, pay a life, put the top card of your library into the graveyard, discard a card, sacrifice Sinister Concoction to destroy a creature. Sinister Concoction is just fantastic. It does a lot of work. There's a lot of costs here, but they're all super, super, super low costs. And of course, if you can madness something off this, it becomes even lower of a cost, almost becomes a benefit. I love Sinister Concoction. It does some super good work and definitely a potential first pick. Our rare is not a good one. Corrupted Graphstone. Kind of want to rip it up on camera right now. Two generic mana for an artifact. It enters the battlefield tapped. Choose a color of a card in your graveyard. Add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool. So it's a mana rock that comes down on turn 2 tapped, which is already kind of a pain. And then on turn 3, it probably taps for nothing because you don't have a card in your graveyard yet. I just do not ever want to play Corrupted Graphstone. I would never first pick it. I would rarely last pick it. I would take a basic land over this. Bad, bad, bad card. Absolutely hate it. We do have a flip card, just one. Neglected Heirloom. Artifact equipment at uncommon. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. When equipped creature transforms, transform Neglected Heirloom. The equip cost is 1. It turns into Ashmouth Blade. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has first strike. Equip cost of 3 generic mana. I love Ashmouth Blade / Neglected Heirloom. It does a lot of work. The +1/+1 for 1 equip cost is not very good. I would not play this if I didn't have a way of transforming this. But the transform side is crazy. +3/+3 in first strike is just absolutely awesome. Just to have a 3-card discussion, we're going to say that maybe that could be a first pick. Realistically, though, I don't think you take a Neglected Heirloom. It does keep you open color-wise, but it does mean that you want to, pick up a lot of double-face cards, and maybe that's something you can do early on. Maybe you can go red-green werewolves and first pick this, but I don't think I'm going to really realistically first pick it. So I'm looking at 2 black cards, 2 removal cards, and really only one of them. Throttle is just so much less good than Sinister Concoction. I'm going to first pick that Sinister Concoction, and I'm going to be pretty darn happy about it. Let me know what you would have taken in the comments below, though. Would you have taken the Throttle, the Heirloom, or would you have taken the Corrupted Graphstone simply to rip it in half? Let me know in the comments down below. There's also that little pop-up in the top right-hand corner where you can do a little poll and vote up there. So definitely let me know. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at @TheManaLeak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. And you can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/TheManaLeak. You've already found me here on YouTube. You've got that comment section down below. Please make use of it. As well, if you enjoy my videos, click that little thumbs up icon and subscribe so that you can keep up to date on all the latest videos. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.